You're going to Gaza in the next few days. What has inspired you to participate in something so dramatic?
Well, Gaza is just another example of U.S. money and weapons being used to decimate innocent people. I mean, Gaza is just heartbreaking. I mean, here, with all we know, we've created a prison for, a country is imprisoned, it's occupied. We're not letting in aid, we're not letting in medical supplies. Right now, Gaza is over 50% are children. In the 22 days, a third of the casualties were children, and something like 2,000 children are wounded, with little medical supply getting in, little food getting in. Right now, half of the mothers that are pregnant are anemic. I mean, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. I mean, we're so far gone about who's right or wrong, Palestinian or Israeli. Right now we have a humanitarian crisis, and we're allowing Israel to keep Gaza under siege. It just, in my mind, that just doesn't make sense. I have to go there and to find a way to point out, to get attention to this devastating disaster. And you know what happens in the United States? People think if they've read it in the newspaper and they assume that people act how they should act. So they assume that if there's a humanitarian aid crisis happening, that humanitarian aid is arriving. That makes sense to them. But the story is never told that that's not happening. And so, that's not in the mainstream media. And we're going to be able to come back and tell the story. A lot about Code Pink is to be able to speak from our own experience. We try to create a container for women and men to be active around these issues. We create every week an alert that lets people have an action that they can be doing. We educate them with facts they probably don't have, hopefully inspiring them to action and give them the action to do together. So, this is what we're trying to do, is to keep people active. And to do that, you need to be able to have your own experience about it. That's what we felt. For us, it wasn't like we discovered later what the truth was. We knew what the truth was. We'd been to Iraq. We'd talked to the weapons inspectors. We'd interviewed people. We knew firsthand that Bush was lying, his administration was lying. We didn't have to, guess or hope or have faith. It was real for us. We'd had the experience about it, and we really encourage that for all activists and all U.S. citizens, that there is a way for you to have the experience, to stand on your own experience, whether that's, I know how people behave when their bombs are dropping around them. They turn into, I would become a very active freedom fighter if bombs were falling on my country. And so then to call these people terrorists and then to go after them, I mean, it's like, how can we continue to make a situation that's self-replicating violence by not owning what we're actually doing?
Can you explain a little bit more about the type of aid that you're bringing in?
Well, we're bringing a lot of things for kids. We're bringing medical equipment, we're bringing penicillin, we're bringing vitamins, and then we're bringing toys and things that they're not letting anything in across the border for kids. And our last trip, we took, thousands of baskets of goodies for the women. The UN group working in Palestine said, please don't give aid we were going to give aid to groups inside that work with women. They said, no. You need to bring something that you give to each one of these women. We had 60 delegates that handed them out because they said the women don't remember they're human anymore and they need to be touched as human beings. So that's true with the kids. So what we want to do is bring in something that reminds them that they're kids.